Andrew Jackson, the seventh President of the United States, has been regarded as one of the most popular leaders of this country. Due to his distinctive character and his time as a war hero, his presidency was also filled with moments that shaped how people view him. Through his various trials and tribulations, this man has faced over 78 years of life. Jackson ultimately proved to be a man that was fiery and passionate, and took nothing from anyone. While it's important to judge a president based off of their decisions, it is also important to learn everything about them so that we can paint an image that represents them. Here we will discuss the early days of this boisterous man and hopefully see some of the events that shaped who he was as a person.
Pleasure meeting you. So if we're talking about the life of someone, we also have to start from the very beginning, right? Can you elaborate on the upbringing of him as a child?
Now, when we think of Andrew Jackson, he was oftentimes seen as one of the most popular U.S. presidents in American history. Now, even with that, we know he was also one of the most reviled for his many actions and his very misdeeds, dealing with both Native Americans and with the general government. But the one thing that all of these lead to, and the one causation we are to believe, is the main reason for all of these crazy actions was mainly through his childhood. Andrew Jackson was born in Lancaster, South Carolina on March 15th, 1767, to his mother Elizabeth and his father Andrew. In addition, he had his two brothers, Hugh and Robert. But before Andrew Jackson was even born, his father would die in a tragic logging accident that would leave them fatherless.
No! Your father's dead! Father! No! No!
His widowed mother actually wanted him to become a minister, but Jackson's actions quickly shot down those hopes. At a young age, he was already cussing, fighting, and pranking.
So he's your stereotypical troublemaker, I would assume, right?
No. He wasn't per se a troublemaker. He was an agent of chaos. To put things in perspective, he literally joined the Revolutionary War at the age of 13.
13?
Yep, 13. He went along with his brothers to fight in the war, and that's when the second tragedy occurred. At the Battle of Stano Ferry, his brother Hugh died of heat stroke. Then, 2 years later, he and his brother Robert were captured by the British. As you would expect, Jackson took no orders from the British. So when one British soldier asked him to shine his boots, Jackson refused, and as such received a nasty scar across the face. A while after, their mother arranged for them to be released by the British. After that, Jackson's brother died of smallpox. But then his mother had to go to Charleston to serve as a nurse and care for soldiers. Sadly, she contracted cholera and died thereafter, making Jackson an orphan at the age of 14.
Where do you go after that?
Well, for a little bit, he lived with other family members, but then he promptly left to go have adventures in Charleston. He had some inheritance from his grandfather back in Ireland. Luckily, he managed to finish school, and he found a temporary job as a teacher, even though he hated studying.
Yeah, I didn't think Jackson would hold a job like that for a very long time.
You'd be surprised to hear he actually became an attorney at the age of 17. It took him about 3 years, but eventually he got his license to practice law. As well, he used to work at other various general stores. to earn some extra income.
How did other people see him at this time?
After a while, he somewhat gained a reputation as a very charismatic man. He was ambitious, and he loved to gamble and go to the tavern.
Interesting. Well, I also wanted to bring up his tendency to duel. I heard that he didn't really take any sort of insult from anybody.
Ah, yes, he definitely had a fair share of those. One of the more notable duels was over the honor of his wife, Rachel. A horse race turned violent with a man named Charles Dickens after he made some rude remarks concerning Jackson's wife. Being the hot-tempered man he was, Jackson swiftly challenged him to a duel, but the duel didn't go so well. Both men were severely wounded as a result. Scandals and duels hurt Jackson's reputation, and he had to retreat to Tennessee.
Oh, wait. This was around the War of 1812, right?
Yeah, right around then, I believe.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. We have someone else coming in to cover that area of his life, so thank you.